Hello, I'm Dr. Jim Taylor, and welcome to Prime Business Alert. This segment of Prime Business Alert focuses on self-knowledge for success. The first step in striving toward prime business, that is, performing at a consistently high level under the most challenging conditions, involves gaining a better understanding of yourself in essential areas that impact your work. This self-knowledge can provide you with the direction as you try to maximize your efforts in your business life. Becoming the best business person you can be is complicated. You probably have an already busy life filled with work, family, social life, and other activities. It's difficult to find time to do everything. But by understanding yourself, you'll know what you need to work on to be efficient and focused in your efforts. In developing greater self-understanding, you must recognize your strengths and your weaknesses. Let's admit it, most business people love to talk about their strengths, but don't like to admit that they have weaknesses. And I disagree with Marcus Buckingham, the co-author of Now Discover Your Strengths, who asserts that the way to find success is to focus on your strengths. This approach may work for jobs that involve one or two highly specialized skill sets, such as an accountant or computer programmer. But most positions in the business world these days require a constellation of competencies. So the focus on your strength model will actually limit your climb up the corporate ladder. Let me explain why. Most business people think they're as good as their greatest strengths. For example, a finance director may believe that her financial and analytical capabilities will enable her to one day become a CFO. The truth is, though, that you're only as good as your biggest weakness. If that finance director lacks leadership and team capabilities, her specialized skills will only take her so far. Additionally, focusing on your strengths has a ceiling effect. If you work to improve them, there's only so much better you can get because they are, well, already your strengths. But by definition, your weaknesses leave considerable room for improvement. So you'll get more bang for your buck when you focus on alleviating your weaknesses. Think of business strengths and weaknesses as a mathematical equation. On a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is very poor and 10 is the best. If you're very good at research for a financial analysis, let's say an 8, but you're not very good at synthesizing that data, say a 2, then your overall performance would be pretty mediocre. 8 plus 2 is 10 out of a possible 20. If you focused on and improved your research capabilities, say from an 8 to a 9, you wouldn't improve that much overall because you were already a capable researcher. 9 plus 2 equals 11. But if you improve your integration abilities, say from a 2 to a 6, then your overall performance would rise dramatically. 8 plus 6 equals 14. Of course you want to continue to build your strengths, but the more you improve your weaknesses, the better you'll be able to do your current job, and the more prepared you'll be for that promotion that you really want coming up. Nobody likes to admit, much less focus on their weaknesses. Yet, when you gain self-knowledge, both appreciating your strengths and confronting your weaknesses, you start opening up new possibilities for growth and an advancement in your career. So be receptive to self-knowledge. Rather than being uncomfortable with facing your weaknesses, be willing to consider the information in a positive and constructive way. When weaknesses are identified, it doesn't mean that you're incapable of performing well. It may mean that you simply haven't had to use those skills in your current position, or you've been able to hide them with the strengths that you have. And the great thing about self-knowledge is that it gives you the power to make changes in those weaknesses. The information you gain from actively seeking self-knowledge will enable you to really understand both your strengths and weaknesses and plot a course to maximally leverage both to achieve your goals. If you want to learn what your strengths and weaknesses are in material areas of your work, for example, preparing corporate financials, they're relatively quite evident on paper or on the monitor. However, a difficulty with dealing with the psychological, leadership, and social aspects of the business world is that they're neither tangible nor readily measurable. To help alleviate this obstacle, I've created Prime Business Profiling. Through my work with Young Presidents Organization, an association of 17,000 CEOs worldwide, I've developed Prime Business Profiling, a comprehensive assessment tool that you can think of as competency testing for the mind. It makes these ethereal aptitudes related to your work much more concrete. Prime Business Profiling offers assessments in 7 areas essential to increasing performance in the corporate world: personal, professional, performance, leadership, and team, as well as obstacles and best practices. Each of these profiles identifies attributes that are most influential in each of the 7 areas. My Prime Business Profiling allows you to evaluate your results and then develop an action plan to put your newly learned self-knowledge to good use, namely raising your game and maximizing your performance, productivity, and profitability. To receive a copy of Prime Business Profiling, email me at jim@drjimtaylor.com. I'm Dr. Jim Taylor for Prime Business Alert.